If you have been following banking, investing, or cryptocurrency over the last 10 years, you may have heard the term blockchain. So, what is a blockchain? Questions arise every time you hear it. In this video, we are going to explain what a blockchain is and why it is used widely all over the world. A blockchain is a type of a database, and a database is a collection of information that is stored electronically on a computer system. Here are the reasons why blockchain is used widely all over the world. Accuracy of the chain. Transactions on the blockchain network are approved by a network of thousands of computers. This removes almost all human involvement in the verification process, resulting in less human error and accurate record of information. Even if a computer on a network were to make a computational mistake, the error will only be made to one copy of the blockchain. In order for that error to spread to the rest of the blockchain, it will need to be made by at least 51% of the network's computers. Cost reduction. Typically, consumers pay a bank to verify a transaction, a notary to sign a document, or a minister to perform a marriage. Blockchain eliminates the needs for the third-party verification and with it their associated costs. Business owners incur a small fee whenever they accept payment using credit cards. Decentralization. Blockchain does not store any of its information on a central location. Instead, the blockchain is copied and spread across a network of computers. Whenever a new block is added to the blockchain, every computer on the network updates its blockchain to reflect the change by spreading that information across a network rather than storing it in one central database. Blockchain becomes more difficult to tamper with. If a copy of a blockchain fell into the hand of a hacker, only a single copy of the information rather than the entire network will be compromised. Efficient transaction. Transaction placed through a central authority can take a few days to settle. If you attempt to deposit a check on Friday evening, for example, you may not actually see the fund in your account until Monday morning, whereas financial institutions operate during business hours 5 days a week. Blockchain is working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year. Transaction can be completed in 10 minutes and can be considered secure after just few hours. This is particularly useful for cross-border trades, which usually take much longer because of the time zone issue and the fact that all parties must confirm payment processing. Private transactions. Many blockchain networks operate as a public database, meaning that anyone with internet connection can view a list of the network's transaction history. Although users can access details about transactions, they cannot access identifying information about the users making those transactions. It is a common misperception that blockchain networks like Bitcoin are anonymous, when in fact, they are only confidential. When a user makes public transaction, the unique code called a public key is recorded on the blockchain rather than their personal information. If a person made a Bitcoin purchase on the exchange that requires identification, then the person's identity is still linked to their blockchain's address. Secure transaction. Once a transaction is recorded, its authenticity must be verified by the blockchain's network. Thousands of computers on the blockchain rush to confirm the details of the purchase are correct. After a computer has validated the transaction, it is added to the blockchain block. Each block on the blockchain contains its own unique hash, along with the unique hash of the block before it. When the information on the block is edited in any way, that block's hash code changes. However, the hash code on the block after it will not. This discrepancy makes it extremely difficult for the information on the blockchain to be changed without notice. Transparency. Most blockchains are entirely open source software. This means that anyone and everyone can view its code. This gives auditors the ability to review cryptocurrency like Bitcoin for security. This also means that there are no real authority on who controls Bitcoin's code or how it is edited. Banking the unbanked. Perhaps the most profound facet of blockchains and Bitcoin is the ability for anyone, regardless of ethnic, genders, or cultural background, to use it. According to the World Bank, there are nearly 2 billion adults that does not have any bank account or any means of storing their money or wealth. Nearly all these individuals live in developing countries where the economy of the infancy and entire depend on the cash. These people often earn little money that is paid in physical cash. Then they need to store this physical cash in a hidden location in their home or place of living, leaving them subject to robbery or unnecessary violence. Whereas, keys of the Bitcoin wallet can be stored on a piece of paper, a cheap cell phone, or even memorized if necessary. For most people, it is likely that these options are more easily hidden than a small pile of cash under a mattress. Blockchain of the future are also looking for solutions not to only be a unit of account for wealth storage, but also to store medical record, property rights, and variety of other legal contracts. While there are significant upsides to the blockchain, there are also significant challenges to its adoption. The roadblock to the application of blockchain technology today are not just technical. Although blockchain can save users money on transaction fee, the technology is far from free. The system that Bitcoin used to validate transactions, for example, consume vast amount of computational power. In the real world, the power from the millions of computers on the Bitcoin network is close to what Denmark consumes annually, assuming electricity cost of $0.03 to $0.05 per kilowatt hour. Mining costs exclusive of hardware expenses are about $5,000 to $7,000 per coin. Despite the cost of mining Bitcoin, users continue to drive up their electricity bill in order to validate transactions on blockchain. That's because when a miner adds a block to the Bitcoin blockchain, they are rewarded with enough Bitcoin to make its time and energy worthwhile. When it comes to a blockchain that do not use cryptocurrency, miners will need to be paid or otherwise incentive to validate transactions. Some solutions to this issue are beginning to arise. For example, Bitcoin mining farms have been set up to use solar power, access natural gas from fracking sites, or power from the wind farms. When all the mining farms are powered by renewable energy, the cost of mining will be reduced, and blockchain will be the best database for storing data.